Welcome into the broadcast center of this last scheduled day of the Florida League. It'll be a rubber match between the Winter Garden Squeeze and the Winter Park Diamond Dawgs. And in what was an abbreviated game yesterday, we only got through, the top of the fifth inning. It was the Winter Garden Squeeze who essentially picked up a mercy rule victory. It was due to a mutual agreement between the two teams of just getting the game finished and finalized. It was the Winter Garden Squeeze who ended up winning that one 11-1. It was an absolute hit parade in the first 4 innings. They hit a couple home runs. Isaac Incinelli in the first inning, and then Zacharias Walker both left the yard. I'm TJ French, alongside me, Ricky Potts. Ricky, last day of the Florida League season. Again, both of these teams already know their fate, so have to think that the strategy, at least for the Diamond Dawgs, is just going to be get as many pitchers in as possible and just have fun with it. As for the Winter Garden Squeeze, they're looking to stay hot and then also prepare for their playing game, which will be Monday. For Winter Garden, it's going to be Liam Fury out on the mound today, starting the game. Yeah, pretty much. It's crazy to think we're already technically it's game number 36, even though nobody in the league has played all 36 games. But we're here at the end of the regular season, and for Winter Park, obviously, it's just going to be a matter of just staying loose, trying to enjoy this last day together that you guys have, and just try to get a win to end out the season. And then for Winter Garden, just try to get out any last possible kinks that there may be left to take care of as they close out the season today. And then, like you said, they'll have that play-in game on Monday against DeLand. But we can take a look at the starting lineup for the Winter Garden Squeeze today. Caleb Scott will kick things off on the plate today as Michael Thomas will bat fifth. Scott in second base, Thomas in left field. First baseman Sean Stafford will bat third. Drew Pines is getting a day off of the backstop today. Presumably so. He's going to be the starting catcher on Monday, but he will get a day off from catching as the extra hitter will bat in the cleanup spot. Isaac Incinelli, who hit the home run yesterday, is playing third base as opposed to his usual shortstop. He's batting fifth. Zacharias Walker is out in right field. In the sixth hole, Cole Steinmetz will get a break from defending as he's an extra hitter. In the seventh hole, Derek Lopez will catch today in the eighth spot. And rounding out the lineup will be shortstop Dominic Donatucci and center fielder Braden Weckman. Yeah, so we are underway here. 1-2 count to the leadoff man. Caleb Scott, the starter for Winter Park, is going to be Nick Sikowski, a left-hander out of Florida Southern. Has had a pretty nice season thus far. 27 innings pitched to go along with 18 strikeouts, 15 earned runs. See what he can do here in the last game here in the Florida League season. It's a 2-2 count to Scott, who was in the lineup yesterday, scored 2 runs, which a lot of the Squeeze players scored a handful of runs as Scott goes down swinging for the first out of this one. A good breaking ball there by Sikowski, but that'll bring up Michael Thomas, who did not play in yesterday's contest. Nico Banez also gets a day off. Yeah, there's a couple of guys that will get the day off, and we'll see who that ultimate starting lineup is on Monday. But Michael Thomas will bat in the top of the order, actually. Typically he's either towards the lower middle or the bottom part of the order. Began the season obviously getting subbed in to the Squeeze's 8-0 run rule back in late May against the Snappers, as that one is a swing and a miss there. But he came in, got a single, and then started the next couple of games. And then ever since then, he's kind of just been, getting fizzled out, in and out as a starter. But he is an outfielder. 1-1 hit on the ground too short. That is Kenyon Marslowitz over there at short. He makes the play for out number 2. So 2 up, 2 down for Sikowski. Again, this will... I believe that Sikowski was here yesterday, and he was set to pitch at some point in relief in that game yesterday, but after it was cut short, then now he serves as the starter today. And see if the Diamond Dawgs head coach Tim Newland kind of enables all of his pitchers today, kind of lets everyone get maybe an inning or 2 of work. As that pitch is hit out into right, Kyler Wynn drifting over and making the nice running catch. So A 3-up, 3-down inning for Nick Sikowski is how the start of this game starts. So we head to the bottom half of the first here at Alphonse Stadium. Again, last game of the Florida League season. Don't go anywhere. Bottom of the first inning here. Nick Sikowski had a 1-2-3 inning, as I'll get to you the starting lineup for the Winter Park Diamond Dogs. Their last lineup of the season. It'll be Adonis Velez leading things off. He's the extra hitter today, followed by Kyle Lewin, who's out in right field. We saw him make the third out in the top half of the first. Luis Rivera out in center field. Luis Rivera has played in every single Florida League game this season. The cleanup man is Pierce Gladding over at first, and then followed by Ben Barrow hitting fifth and out in left field. Kenyon Marszewicz is over in short, as he also made a nice play in that first inning. Alejandro Simo is the man behind the plate in the last inning, and 8 through 10 is as followed. Tyler Boyce in extra hitting, Lee Anthony Santiago at second base, and Eric Entrikin at third base, rounding things out here. Adonis Velez will deal with a 1-1 count here to the starting pitcher, Liam Fury, out of University of West Florida. 1-1 is hit hard down the left field line, and that is going to be in for a base hit. Could be extra bases, but Velez will stop at first, and it's a leadoff single for Velez, who's had himself a nice summer, hitting .357, which will increase thanks to that base hit. Has a home run and 5 RBIs. That home run and 5 RBIs did come against the Winter Garden Squeeze in the first game of this series, which was a 13-2 Diamond Dogs victory. Again, the rubber match here today, so winner will take the series.
Yeah, it would be the winner of the winter series.
Yeah, it would. Is that right? Because I think we did split. We had a 2-game set, and we split that 1-1. That ball's hit hard on the ground to second. Could be 2 over to first, and it will be exactly that. It's a 4-6-3 double play, nicely turned by Caleb Scott and Dominic Donatucci over there manning the middle infield.
Good piece of defense there by the Winter Garden Squeeze. They're going to need plays just like that if they want to get past the DeLand Suns on Monday. Obviously, Scott with good instincts to get it over to Donatucci, and then Dominic throws it over to Sean Stafford and gets out of the first 2 batters for Winter Park.
As the number 3 hitter, Luis Rivera, will step in. He's also had a nice summer. See if he can finish it off with a nice day at the plate here. He is hitting just below 300, 295. 0-1 is swung on foul, but he's quickly down the count here, 0-2.
Yeah, Liam Fury is getting the start today for Winter Garden. This most likely, depending on how long he goes, will make him ineligible.
As Luis Rivera is going to be hit by the pitch on the 0-2 count, so he will take his base.
Now batting.
Yeah, I was going to say, depending on how long he goes, ineligible to start at least on Monday. But so far this summer, Liam Fury has a 380 380 ERA, I should say. He's made 6 appearances, 5 of those starts 26 full innings of work, 34 hits allowed, 15 runs allowed, 11 of those earned, 6 walks to 19 strikeouts.
Very good. And I think it'll be Isaac Sewell who will potentially be the wild card game starter, or the man that we saw yesterday, Andrew Fury, who had himself a nice outing.
Yeah, and because obviously Fury only went as long as he did yesterday.
Yeah, I think it was 3 innings. So
yeah.
That was, kind of before the delay, and then they took him out. The game was kind of already out of hand, so yeah.
Right, and then, that could potentially keep him in contention, but you're right. I wouldn't doubt if Isaac Sewell is named the starter on Monday.
2-0 here to Pierce Gladding, playing in his 13th game, hitting .286. The 2-0 is in there for strike number 1. So Diamond Dogs got a leadoff hit. It was Adonis Velez who hit one down the left field line, but Kyler Wynn grounded into a 4-6-3 double play, and now the cleanup man, Pierce Gladding, is up. It's going to be attending Georgia Southwestern this upcoming season. He swings at the 2-1 and appeared to be way out in front of it, and it is a 2-2 count now.
Yeah, and Liam Fury looking to bounce back after his last couple of appearances haven't necessarily gone his way.
The 2-2 from Fury, and it's a swing and a miss by Pierce Gladding. So the Diamond Dogs get a hit, also strand one base runner, and that is how things end here in the first inning. Again, don't go anywhere as we head to the top half of the second here at Alphonse Stadium. Top of the second inning here after a 1-2-3 top half of the first for the starter, Nick Sikowski. He is out there again here in the top of the second. He will face the cleanup man, Drew Pines, the extra hitter today. So as you said, gets a break from being behind the plate. So I believe it's Derek Lopez, right? That'll be behind the plate today. 1-0 count here to Pines. His first at bat. Pines has had a nice summer for Winter Garden Squeeze.
Yeah, he's been one of their biggest bats. He was the clear number one in terms of batting average, but since his obviously back-to-back Player of the Week nominations kind of fizzled out somewhat, now he's batting .274 coming into today. 20 hits in 73 at-bats, 11 runs scored, 3 doubles, 3 home runs, 16 RBIs, 11 walks for the St. Petersburg backstop.
And he has 3 homers on the season. They all came in one day against this Diamond Dogs team back in late June. 3-1 hitters count is going to be upstairs for ball number 4, so it'll be a leadoff walk for Drew Pines, and Isaac Incinelli steps up, and we saw him get on the board in a big way yesterday. It was a 3-run home run in the top of the first inning.
Absolutely.
Against our starter, Riley Kuar.
Yeah, it was barely left of the foul pole out in right field, but what you just saw Pines do there, those are like the little things that I'm sure Winter Garden is going to try to focus on today, and just at least have that fresh in their mind heading into Monday, because getting walks like that and just not being too anxious at the plate is going to be super crucial in the postseason.
1-0 is swung through and missed by Incinelli, so he'll deal with 1-1 here. The walk to Drew Pines, the Winter Garden Squeeze's first base runner of the afternoon, or late afternoon, I should say, early evening. Another hot one today here in Florida. 1-1 is upstairs, and I believe there's, like something called like a heat advisory or something. Yeah, it's got this Orlando area feeling like higher, upper 100s.
Absolutely, and I was, during one of the lightning delays, I was talking to our social media intern for Winter Garden, Daniela, and just like asking her if it's as bad as I think it is, and she's like, absolutely. And she says, the dugout might actually be worse.
Well, that dugout is really bad because it eats the sun. There's our dugout has a little shade. It also has a little more depth, but that away team dugout is no protection. 2-2 here at Incinelli is going to be in there for strike number 3. Looked like it caught the outside part of the plate for a strikeout, looking for Nick Sikowski, his second strikeout of the afternoon, and that'll bring up Zacharias Walker, the other man who homered in yesterday's contest, and he hit a towering shot.
Yeah.
The one off Incinelli might have been, questionable, but Zacharias Walker left no doubt about his shot.
Absolutely. We heard a big thunk off of the scoreboard out in right field. But, yeah, you're absolutely right. This dugout down the first baseline, it's kind of, at least, during Rollins' season, it serves the same purpose as away opponents for the Miami Dolphins, right? Because, in that same situation, the away sideline just gets beamed by the sun throughout the game, while the Dolphins, I think their side is shaded. So it's like a 10-degree difference, I think they said, over in Hard Rock Stadium.
2-0 here to Walker. Sikowski looks in and delivers a first pitch in for a strike, or first strike of the at-bat, I should say. And it looks like the home plate umpire is certainly favoring that outside part of the zone to left-handed batters. So that one kind of looked like it was a little bit outside, but still called a strike. The 2-1 is upstairs for ball number 3. So another hitter's friendly count for a squeeze batter. Zacharias Walker deals with a 3-1. See what Sikowski goes to here. And it's going to be in there for strike number 2 to run the count full. Again, that one might have looked a little bit low as well. So,
yeah, he was about to toss his bat towards the dugout for the Bat Boys to get, but he very swiftly at the last second kept his hold of it as he heard the umpire signal for strike 2. Super crucial out here needed for Sikowski.
Payoff pitch is going to be a little outside for ball number 4. So 2 walks here in the inning for Sikowski, and the Winter Garden Squeeze have their first opportunity of the afternoon. It's going to be guys on first and second, and Cole Steinmetz steps up to the plate for his first at-bat.
Yeah, Steinmetz also getting a break from the field. Typically he's been over at third ever since his late arrival for this Winter Garden team out of Valdosta State.
And late arrivals are good, especially for a team like the Squeeze, as that's going to be hit on the ground to the second baseman, Santiago. He flips over to short on due first. Not in time, so they will get the lead runner, Zacharias Walker, over at second, but that is all that they will get. It'll be a fielder's choice for Steinmetz, and the Diamond Dawgs have 2 down here in the inning. And as I was going to say, later rivals are kind of good in a sense because they're a little more fresh. They haven't played as many games as some of the guys that, have been here since day one. So it also gives those other guys an opportunity to, not play as much and get some much needed days off.
Absolutely. And, for some teams, especially, the Diamond Dawgs, depth has obviously, seen some exhaustion befall upon Winter Park, as obviously, especially in the bullpen, certain days, Coach Newland might not have a choice but to keep guys out there longer than he might want to just because of lack of depth.
That's it over to third. Eric Entrican fields it on the first, and a nice pick by Pierce gliding over at first will retire the side. 2 walks in the inning by Nick Sikowski, but he's able to get out of it with back-to-back outs recorded, and we are still scoreless headed to the bottom half of the second here at Alphonse Stadium.
Be sure to stay up to date with
if the sun keeps going down, we could be good for like 20, 25 maybe, but we're like 15, 20. Yeah, that's the problem. That's the problem. So honestly, we could catch this one at like 7. So kind of like yesterday. We got to suffer early on. We got to suffer early on to get the benefits of that.
Bottom of the second inning here is going to be 5, 6, 7 to bat for the Diamond Dawgs. First man is Ben Barrow, swings through the first pitch he sees. So again, for these two teams, the Winter Garden Squeeze know that they will be playing the DeLand Suns in a wild card game on Monday. For the Diamond Dawgs, this will be the last game of their season, 7-27 through their first 34 games. So they were actually the one team that was able to get majority of their games in, 35 out of 36.
Yep.
Barrow deals with an 0-2 here. That's going to be in the turf for a 1-2 count. Barrow out of James Madison. He's had a nice summer since he arrived as well, hitting to a 344 average in 32 at-bats, 8 RBIs as well.
And interestingly enough, the River Rats, despite being the number one team, they have yet to play 30 games this summer, which obviously they did go through that like 2.5 week stretch where they played like a grand total of 3 games because the field over there unfortunately does not take to rain well.
So Barrow on the 2-2 count is plunked. So that'll be a leadoff base runner for the Diamond Dawgs, and I'll bring up Canyon Markowitz. See what Canyon can do. Again, he's been a day one mainstay, has showed up to the park just about every single day, and I've gotten the chance to meet Canyon and talk with him. Really good guy, and again, always brings a positive attitude to the park. So that first pitch he sees is upstairs for ball number 1. So see what Fury can do here with the leadoff base runner.
Do we happen to know the origin or like the background on Canyon's last name?
No, I should. Do you think I should ask him? Why are you just
No, it's
curious?
fine. Just curious. Yeah, just curious.
The origin of the name, or
Yeah,
I could look that up.
yeah, because obviously any name that ends in that kind of a last syllable
Be German?
typically, yeah, it's typically from that part of the world. So I would be curious.
2-0 is hit on the ground, too short. Could be 2. On to second, over to first for 2, and that's what it will be. So it's a 6-4-3 double play that Marszewicz bounces into, and that's the second double play induced by Liam Fury.
Yeah, great defense by the Winter Garden Squeeze. I mean, they turned the 4-6-3 earlier, and then they get the 6-4-3 there on that one. But the Diamond Dogs had a chance of their own, but I guess, because the grounder that the Squeeze hit when it was the Diamond Dogs' chance was not hit as hard as the two double plays that the Squeeze have turned.
Yeah, so good job there by Donatucci and Caleb Scott up the middle again, except it was just reverse of what we saw in the first inning. So the surname Marszewicz is of Polish origin, so you were right over there in that region of the world.
Yeah,
Western Europe.
Yeah, I was thinking because, I don't know, the first thing that came to my mind was former UFC champion Jan Blachowicz.
Oh, yeah.
So,
are you a UFC fan?
A little bit.
That's crushed out into left center field. It'll be a 2-out hit for Alejandro Simo, and he has a 2-out single. Again, in this last game for these Diamond Dogs hitters, again, you want to think they're going to go out swinging and do their best attempt to get some hits and kind of get some increased stats.
Yeah, for sure. And see, this is where, I feel like critics of, really any sport, but especially the major American sports, they always like to, chitter chatter about stat pad this, stat pad that. But in the case of the Diamond Dogs, you're trying to put together your profile of what you did this summer. Might as well, try to increase those numbers any way you can, especially here in the last game with essentially nothing to lose.
Yeah, absolutely.
But to answer your question, I would say for the
moderately.
large part, moderately. I do know some really heavy MMA heads, but
I won't go as far as watch the early prelims and watch all the fight nights, but when the big cards come around, I'll certainly watch them.
Absolutely.
There's a big one tonight as well.
Yeah, I mean the Diamond is retiring.
The Diamond, I know.
Crazy.
Well, that's what he says.
No, he is. I
sure, right? But then what if he wins and Dana's like, oh, do you want a title fight? Then who knows? Well, 0-2 here to Boyson.
I think the what's going to happen should he beat Max Holloway
Which is a difficult feat.
Yeah, but if he does beat him in their trilogy fight tonight, he'll be the BMF champion until Dana White vacates it and then puts it up for grabs again. But that belt is an interesting one because technically it can be defended at any weight. Obviously, they're not going to have Holloway go up against Pereira or anything like that. But
0-2 is a little outside for ball number 1. So 1-2 count here for Boyson. No, you're exactly right. But I think it'll be Justin Gaethje maybe will fight for it.
He had it.
Yeah,
at
he
one
did
point.
have it.
But
who else would contend?
They basically just try to book knockout artists against each other because that's the whole point of the title of BMF. But
which we will not say what that title is.
We're not gonna. Yeah, we'll let you guys determine what that means for those of you watching at home. But yeah, and
really cool idea though. I mean, everyone loves the BMF title, and when those fights come around, it's certainly one of the more highly anticipated fights of the year.
For sure, and good on Dana for doing right by Dustin. Letting him go out.
2-2, and that's going to be strike 3 looking for Tyler Boyson. So the Diamond Dogs get a leadoff man on, but that's followed by a 6-4-3 double play, and then a 2-out single is followed by a strikeout looking by Boyson, and that's how things end here in the second inning. Top half of the third incoming. Don't go anywhere.
Good job by Fury. Good breaking ball. Both defenses are staggering.
Top of the third inning here. It's going to be Dominic Donatucci, the shortstop today for the Winter Garden Squeeze, to step up and face Nick Sikowski, who's on for his third inning of work. See the first pitch high and away for ball number 1.
Yes.
Donatucci was on the front end of turning a nice double play in the bottom half of the second.
Yep, so far today, Sikowski has not given up a hit or a run through these 2 innings of work. Both defenses just, in general, have not been budging. They've both given up some base runners, but they have not budged.
1-1 is a sorted swing by Donatucci, and that'll be strike number 2.
Yeah, home plate umpire says he does go around there. Donatucci out of the State College of Florida, Manatee, Sarasota.
One, 2 is high for ball number 2. Count evens up. Donatucci having a pretty nice summer. This is his 30th game played, a .288 average. 2-2 is upstairs for ball number 3, so count will run full here to Donatucci.
Yeah, he's really found his groove and picked it up across the month of July. That's why he has that .288 average now. At this point in the summer, initially coming into the month of July, he was, I'm not sure exactly what the number was at that time, but it was in the 200s, just not near 280, and he's the team's leading base stealer. And the one thing that he can say that he has over the rest of his teammates is that he lasted the longest in the Squeeze Poker Tournament that they hosted.
No way. Did you go to that?
At the end of June, yeah. The entire Squeeze staff.
I was supposed to be invited, but I was never invited. And I love poker. Yeah,
wow,
I love poker.
yeah.
I would have certainly probably won, honestly, the whole thing.
Yeah, I mean, you would have had a good chance, I can tell you that.
Were there some fishies on the table? Is that what it was?
There were some sharks. I can tell you that. But yeah.
Pitch is going to be a ball 4, so leadoff walk here for Donatucci. So, yeah, he was the last. Did he win the tournament?
No.
He was the last remaining Squeeze player. Okay.
Yeah, he made it to the final 4 tables.
Wow. They really had a big tournament, didn't they?
Yeah.
Was it at a restaurant?
Yeah, it was at Rock and Brews. We managed to snag, I think, 7 tables in the restaurant to use for the tournament. Obviously, big thanks to Rock and Brews for allowing us to host that, and also for providing post-game meals as well just throughout the season. But yeah, Donatucci was the last Squeeze standing. Mason Mojica was the first one out. Unfortunately for him, he did not have a good day.
Luck wasn't on his side.
But
so how many players were there per table to begin with? Was it like 8 people per table, so it was like over 50 participants?
I think it was, because I'm trying to remember how, because I know we oversold on our limit. We had at least over 70 players. I know that. Maybe even might have had low 80s. Wow. But yeah, it was a great turnout. Obviously, a lot of money raised for the team and the league. But yeah, Donatucci was he was just conservative with his chips and made it to the final 4 tables. Until obviously the winner was decided. But one of our interns, Zach Moore, he actually he was doing fairly solid. He built up some chips, and then right before they were about to break down into the final 4 tables, he went all in because he had a good hand. I think
were you watching him? You were spectating?
Yeah, kind of. Yeah.
What did he have? Did he get coolered? That's the
because it was a great hand for him. I forgot what exactly he had. I think it might have been an ace and something else.
Yeah, usually it is.
But the other guy that went all in as well, he barely beat him, and it was just the most gruesome moment for Zach. So that's
he got sucked out on the river. That's what it's. I don't know if you're a big poker player, but I am, and that's called a cooler. When you have a really strong hand and you get beat usually on the last card, because you get cooled, obviously.
Yeah.
tough scene, but yeah. In poker, that's how it is,
Yeah.
2-1 here too. The number 10 hole hitter, Braden Weckman, excuse me.
Yeah, Braden Weckman at least he played at Snead State this past college season. Did pretty well, batted over .310 in his 21 games played. Also had 8 RBIs. Big outfielder, standing about 6'3".
Be a 3-2 count here, so count runs full to Weckman. See what Sikowski goes to here after the leadoff walk. 3-2 is going to be upstairs for ball number 4, so 2 walks here in the inning for the Squeeze, and that's 4 walks through the first time through the order as the lineup's going to turn now. So for Sikowski is yet to give up a hit, but has allowed for 4 Squeeze batters to reach base via the walk.
Yeah, and that's the double-edged sword. Obviously, he hasn't given up any hits, but like you said, he's given up several walks here. Now he has to worry about having 2 runners on base with no outs here against this Squeeze team. Obviously, they can still turn the double play, but we'll see if they can respond.
That's hit in the air out to right field as Kyle Lewin will settle under it for out number 1. So 1 pitch to Caleb Scott, and he is retired on the fly out to left. Runners do not advance, and that'll bring up Michael Thomas. And those bigger poker tournaments they're really fun and entertaining, especially, obviously it sucks to lose. Obviously you want to be in there, but once you don't have a dog in the fight, then you just kind of see what happens and you're a spectator, and it can be really entertaining to see guys go all in. And what do they show? What did they play with? You can really tell a lot about a person kind of, through those tournaments. Back pick over to second by Sikowski, but runner is just safe. That is Domatucci. Yeah, it did look really close. So close.
But yeah, you're absolutely right. I remember I haven't really seen them on TV as much in recent years, but when I was younger, I remember coming across the World Series of Poker every now and then on TV, and like fun. You said, just watching what happens.
Well, there are videos you can certainly watch if you wanted to grow your knowledge of the game.
Oh, yeah.
But I don't know if that's your forte or not. But how did you do?
Oh, no, I didn't play.
You didn't play, okay.
Yeah, no, I was kind of just hopping around, helping out where I was needed. And also got to do some mid-tournament brief little interviews.
That's cool.
Yeah, we had last year's Player of the Year in the Florida League, Titan Kamaka, come out to support. He played for the Squeeze last year, and so I got to talk to him. Obviously, talked to Mason after he was the first Squeeze eliminated.
Was it free entry?
No.
Yeah, buy in,
yeah. And so
those interviews are kind of tough because you're getting them right after they just lost.
But all the guys were having fun.
That's good.
And so that not really any hard feelings or anything like that. But I talked to Mason, talked to Dominic after he.
0-2 is slapped out into left field for the Squeeze's first hit. It will move the batters, or the runners, I should say, station to station. So bases will be loaded here. And no, you're exactly right. I was just curious, kind of like when you would interview them, what were they saying? were they like, oh, I'm just going to continue being conservative? Were there any wild ones where they're like, no, I want to play junk and I want to just kind of psychologically mess with these players? Yeah,
because Dominic, especially after he was obviously the last one standing, I talked to him and the first the thing that I asked him was just how are you feeling? How does it feel to be the last Squeeze standing? And he was just like, dude, I'm still amped up. I feel like I got another table to play, but yeah, they were all just excited to be there and compete because Dominic said that there was some mild trash talk between the Squeeze players who did play, and as well as Zach. They were all claiming to be Sharks, claiming that they were going to win the whole thing. And he was kind of just and he was like, what? All right, I'll play, and we'll see who can back up their talk.
That'll bring up the number 3 hole hitter, Sean Stafford. He's going to deal with a 2-0 count. Nowhere to put the hitter Stafford. I could talk about poker all day, so I'm going to. Yeah. But it's weird because it's one of those games where you can trash talk, but your trash talk isn't really effective because it's that game of luck, and
absolutely.
Obviously there's an art of how to play and what cards to play, what hands you want to really commit to, but to trash talk is kind of just empty words, hoping that luck will be on your side for that game. 2-0 is hits on the ground towards third base, but foul.
And interestingly enough, that single given up to Michael Thomas here by Sikowski might have actually been a blessing in disguise, only because Dominic Donatucci actually was kept at third by the left fielder, and there's still double play potential here.
Yeah, absolutely. So the Diamond Dog infield doesn't draw in, but if a ball is hit sharply to, maybe one of the corner fielders, they can go home with it. See what Sikowski goes to here on the 2-1. And that's going to be swung on a miss by Stafford. That pitch was in the dirt. So count is 2-2 now.
Yeah, yesterday Stafford pretty much had twos in his entire box score. 2 for 2, 2 hits, 2 runs, 2 RBIs. So he was kind of just feeling very even yesterday, but he's got his last strike coming up here. So we'll see if Sikowski can claw all the way back.
2-2 is swung on and missed for out number 2. A big strikeout for Nick Sikowski. That's his third of the afternoon, and he is 1 out away from getting out of this bases loaded 1 out jam.
Good job on Sikowski for throwing that breaking ball low and inside that obviously was fooling Stafford the entire time, but now he has arguably the toughest task of this third inning, which is getting out Drew Pines. Yeah,
absolutely. Pines worked a walk in his first at bat, but second time through, much harder to face the squeeze cleanup batter. See what he can do here. First pitch from Sikowski is in there for a strike.
So I'm assuming you have your I don't know if it's like a group or even like an official thing over at UGA.
For sure. But I all these guys are really cool, but I play with people that take it really seriously, and I'll kind of talk with you in the break about what I mean by that. But it's really it's honestly it's always really all in good fun, but the games certainly are intense, and they're cash games, right? So
you got money on the line. Yeah,
you can put you can essentially play until your money is out, and sometimes the table they get really big, just the amount that the pot sizes are and the amount that guys are actually in for.
For sure.
Totally, it grows, but
no,
I mean, to have a good group is a big deal, because also when you play with guys over and over, it's different than playing tournament style when you don't know the players, because you kind of understand their how they play, and then over time you'll be able to say, well, this guy may be playing with a junk hand because he's trying to bluff me, or it's a lot of strategy. But
for sure,
1-2 is in the dirt to the cleanup man Pines, so it'll be a 2-2 count here. Again, nowhere to put Drew Pines.
And I know that obviously at the highest level of poker, those players they even have mathematical strategies of okay, I have these cards have been dealt at this point in the game, what's possibly left.
Yeah, 100%. It's a big part of it as well. 2-2 is hit on the ground to third. Entrican right there will go on over to first, or on to second, and he's going to be called safe, and the run will score Donatucci. So the throw by Entrican, and head coach Tim Newland's going to dispute this one, and it did look like it kind of pulled Lee Anthony Santiago off the base a little bit. It certainly wasn't the best throw, but I don't know if his foot dragged off.
Yeah, because I thought the ruling was, if you catch it and your foot is on the bag when you catch it, that's what counts.
Yeah.
Even if you for whatever reason slip off, as long as you're at it in the first throw, that's what should matter. But he also could have potentially tried to get Pines out at first, but the quicker, easier throw was to second. So maybe until they finish this decision, it's 1-0 for the squeeze now. But again, like I said, typically, as long as you catch it with your foot on the bag, that's the out. And they just reversed the call.
Wow.
They just reversed the call.
I think that's the first time I've seen a call actually be reversed. Wow. So the home plate umpire must have seen something different there.
And now the squeeze coaching staff is going to come out and try to get this thing disputed here.
And I think it's exactly what you said, Ricky. He did originally have his foot on the base when he caught it, and then it may have dragged off, and you saw the umpire kind of give the sweep signal, but that's just not the case for a play like that if your foot comes off the base.
Yeah, for the baseman, like I said, he just has to be on. Obviously, we've seen runners, they may slide in, and if they slide too far off the bag and they get tagged, that counts. There obviously is different rules for basemen and base runners, but the call gets reversed. What an interesting sequence of events there.
So head coach Jim Newland gets his money's worth, and the call gets overturned as we'll head to the bottom half of the third inning here, still scoreless here at Alphonse Stadium. So kind of a bizarre end of the top half of the third. It'll be Leanthony Santiago to step up here in the, wow, nice attempt over there by the first baseman. But it'll be, Leanthony Santiago to step up here for the Diamond Dogs in the bottom half of the third inning. We're still scoreless, and it is Liam Fury, excuse me, that is still out there for Winter Garden. Santiago deals with an 0-1. And that's going to be upstairs. So, I guess the home plate umpire, who is much farther away from that line of sight, he was able to see that the second baseman, Santiago, kept his foot on the bag on that delivery. Yeah, that
had to be what ultimately reversed the infield umpire's decision, because I guess over there, he might have thought that whenever he secured the ball, his foot was off the bag, but the home plate umpire said, from back here, it looked like he caught it, foot was on the bag, and then he just fell off because he was trying to balance himself. But obviously the call got overturned, and it's still 0-0.
Hit hard up the middle, shortstop Donatucci ranges over and makes a nice throw to get Santiago for out number one. And
that was a great defensive play there, and catching those kind of rollers while moving is, it's routine for these guys because they practice it every day. But
still hard play.
On average, it's definitely not easy because you have to obviously line yourself up with the ball as you're moving, and then do it all in one motion. But good job by Donatucci as he turns the first out.
First pitch to Eric Entrican is upstairs. And I just realized as I see these Diamond Dog players handing out raffles that Roberto Odor is not in the lineup today. He has played in every single game thus far, well, except this one. Yeah, seriously, a real treat of a guy and a player, and always brings a high energy to the park, and, was played everywhere on the field, hit everywhere in the order, never complained or anything like that. But 1-1 here to Entrican. Is hit on a line to the shortstop, again Donatucci, who's active over there for out number two. And for the Diamond Dog team, kind of throughout the season, it hasn't gone how they had hoped, but they have kind of had a lot of roster turnover. Guys being active, being brought in. At one point they needed to make trades to get some arms, but to have a couple of guys that showed up every day still and would play anywhere on the field and hit anywhere in the lineup is a good sign. And
your glue guys, you need those for sure.
Absolutely. So lineup flips to Donis Velez, who will deal with a 1-1 count.
Yeah, it looks like the Squeeze are without head coach McDaniel for the final regular season game.
Did he get thrown out?
No.
Oh, no, he's just not there.
Yeah, no, he's just absent today as I'm looking down towards the dugout, but presumably so, he will be in DeLand on Monday.
Yeah, certainly. So Velez will deal with a 2-1. He led off the game with a single down the line, but was thrown out in the following at-bat by Kyle Lewin. 3-1, so hitter's friendly count for Velez. He's out of Florida International. 3-1 is hit right to Donatucci again. He fields it and throws over to first. So Donatucci responsible for all 3 outs there. All 3 outs in the top of the 3rd inning. And that's how the 3rd inning will end. We're still scoreless here at Alphonse Stadium as we head to the top half of the 4th. Top of the 4th inning here. It's going to be a new pitcher for the Diamond Dogs. It looks like Aiden Tran. I believe that is right. And it's Isaac Incinelli to lead things off here in the top half of the 4th. Have the stats here for Aiden Tran, the lefty, as he delivers a first pitch in for a strike to Incinelli. Problem for Tran, he's one of those guys that tends to walk a handful of batters. 0-1 is in the turf for ball number 1.
And, on a day like this, I feel like this should be a day where, it could cost you depending on what happens, but I feel like, for the Diamond Dogs' arms, try to find the zone as much as you can.
Of course. So 2-1 here to Isaac Incinelli, and the numbers on Tran. He's thrown 10 2/3 innings. This is his 5th appearance, 20 walks in those 10 2/3 innings, to also go along with 10 earned runs allowed. 2-1 is away again, so 3-1 count here for Incinelli, and we're not even through 4 innings, and the Squeeze already have 4 walks drawn. 3-1 is downstairs, so it'll be a leadoff walk for Incinelli, and again, yeah, as you said, in this last day, you definitely just want to throw strikes.
Yeah, and Tran was trying to get Antonelli to chase low and outside there. Obviously unsuccessful, but we'll see if he can bounce back here, maybe turn a double play.
So that'll bring up Zach Walker. His first pitch is swung at and fouled away to the left side. See what Walker can do here. Walker's also had a pretty nice summer, hitting .286. This is his 30th game played, has 10 RBIs and a couple of homers. One of those came in yesterday's contest. He will deal with a 1-1.
And that was Walker's second home run of the regular season. Yesterday's performance brought him up to a .285 batting average on the summer.
1-1 gets away from the catcher Simo, but it holds the runner Antonelli at first, but it'll be a 2-1 count. Runner takes off. Simu throws it, but it will be not in time. Stolen base for Antonelli. A good jump there, and the ball was kind of in the turf, and it will be a 3-1 count here for Zacharias Walker. So same thing for Antonelli, who had a 3-1 count and ultimately worked a walk.
Yeah, good jump by Isaac there.
3-1 is in there for strike number 2, so the count will even up.
And it happens.
Go full, excuse me.
It happens again to Walker, as he thought he was gonna.
Yeah.
He thought he was gonna walk, but he had to turn back around.
And he ultimately walked in that first at bat.
Right.
Payoff pitch from Tran is going to be grounded onto first. Pierce gliding there and will step on the bag, but that allows for Antonelli to advance to third base. A good sacrifice there by Walker, as the Winter Garden Squeeze now have a runner in at third with just one down.
Yeah, that absolutely is a good sacrifice, because, see, now it forces the Diamond Dogs defense to get either strikeouts or flyouts, really, if you want to keep Antonelli over at third.
See what Tran can do here. First pitch misses away.
Yeah, just barely outside there. If he can keep working that area, maybe a little bit lower, he should be good.
So the 1-0 is downstairs, so it'll be a 2-0 count here to Steinmetz. Steinmetz was in the lineup yesterday, did have an RBI, went 1 for 2, and also scored a run. Every batter in the Squeeze lineup yesterday, except for Waddingham, scored a run. Or actually, excuse me, Pines and Waddingham.
Wow.
So 8 out of the 10 is pretty efficient.
Yeah.
3-0 here to Steinmetz is upstairs. So it'll be a 4-pitch walk, and the Winter Garden Squeeze are threatening here. It's their 6th walk drawn here through just 3 1/3 innings, as the pitching coach Brandon Burgess steps out to the mound to have a talk with Tran. I can imagine what the message will be. Throw strikes.
Yeah, I mean that.
I mean, what else are you going to tell him?
Yeah, pretty much. You got Lopez, a righty, coming up here, so maybe work the inside of the zone, try to force potentially a 6-4-3.
Yeah, that would certainly help. So Mount Meeting breaks up, and it's like Aiden Tran is set to deliver to the new batter, Derek Lopez. First pitch is inside for ball number 1. Tran attempts to pick off at first, but Steinman's able to get back. One-0 here is in there for a strike. Like I caught the lower part of the zone. See what Tran goes to here on the 1-1. Runner takes off, and that's swung through a miss by Lopez, but Steinman's able to take second easily. It's like he had a beat on the pitcher Tran, who did not really look over at him, and he was able to get a big jump before he even picked up his leg. And now the Squeeze are threatening with runners on second and third with just one out, but a crucial strike number 2 to Lopez, and the infield for the Diamond Dogs draws in. 1-2 is in the turf again. Good stop by Simo. It'll be a 2-2 count here to Lopez, the man behind the plate for the Squeeze.
Yeah, it looks like Tran needs to release just a little bit earlier here in this at-bat against Lopez, but unfortunately, strikeouts are now imperative.
Let's see if he can get one here on the 2-2, and no, it's going to skip away from Simo. That'll be a wild pitch, and both runners advanced, and that's how the Winter Garden Squeeze get their first run of the game. They presumably looked like they had it in the last inning, but it was overturned. I don't think this one will be overturned.
Yeah, good instincts there by Isaac Incinelli to take advantage of the wild pitch. Again, Tran needs to just release a little bit earlier, maybe a little bit more to the left as well from his point of view.
3-2 is going to be hit out to right field. That's tailing on the right fielder, Lewin, but he will glide over, and the runner tags. A strong throw by Lewin, but it will not be in time. It's a sac fly for Derek Lopez. Oh, not sure what happened there. Did you catch what happened?
I saw it. They'll fix it. They fixed it. There. They fixed it.
So did they say he tagged him on? Oh, he said he left early. Did they say he left early?
Wait, what?
They may have said he left early, which I think is the case. So
I thought they were getting okay, I almost wait.
Yeah, I have
because that catch was for out number 2 of the ball game, because Incinelli advanced on the wild pitch.
No, yeah, I think you're.
And they just threw assistant coach Scott, the lead assistant for the Winter Garden Squeeze.
Yeah, he's
Scott
out of
Garland,
here.
He'll be out of the game. So the Squeeze.
Hold on. I thought it was out. Oh, it was, but it's a double play because they're saying he left early, so that would cause for a double play.
Right.
I think that's the case of what just happened.
I didn't think he left early, but.
Yeah.
So they get the run because of Incinelli scoring on the wild pitch. Lopez flying out into right.
But Steinman's leaves early from third, and that's the ruling. And that will be a double play for the Diamond Dogs. Such a weird couple of top half of the innings for the Winter Garden Squeeze, but they ultimately still do scratch across the first run due to the wild pitch, and that allows for Incinelli to trot on home. But yes, a little bit of fireworks here from both coaching staffs in this last game of the Florida League season, which doesn't really matter for each team, but love to see that both of them still have a fire about them. But we will step aside as we head to the bottom half of the 4th inning here.
Honestly, because we've been trying to debacle this entire situation, we can just stay on here as we progress through the midway point of the 4th inning, because I'll go through Grant Carlton's.
Yeah, going to be a new pitcher for the Winter Garden Squeeze. So weird, man. Baseball, man, you see something new every day. It's so bizarre. And I understand why you get thrown out there if you're the assistant coach.
I mean, he was just trying. He was trying to argue his point. Obviously, the home plate umpire was not trying to have any more of it. So Scott Garland is done for the rest of this game. He'll be there on Monday, but wow, what a wild turn of events.
Especially with how deep that fly ball was, you would think that no way the runner on third would, be late to tagging up because he is going to get in there safely either way.
Right, because that throw from right field by Lewin, it took the catcher a little bit
up the line,
up and left into the infield. So, like you said, Steinmetz easily would have made it home safely anyway. But, yeah, just a wild turn of events here at Alphonse Stadium. Obviously, the Squeeze, who were already down their head coach.
Their coaching staff is looking thin. They might have to have a couple players start making the decisions.
I mean, maybe. We'll take a look at Grant Carlton's numbers. But what I can tell you is, realistically, I think you may have seen a similar reaction. I mean, if that was any coach, they probably would have had a similar reaction to what Scott Garland had there. But Grant Carlton has made 5 relief appearances so far this summer, pitched 6 1/3 innings in 2025, given up 7 hits, 5 runs, 4 of those earned, 8 walks to 4 strikeouts. And the first pitch he throws goes actually behind the head there of
Kyle Wynn, the number 2 hole hitter. He grounded into a double play back in the first after the leadoff single by Velez, but have to think the lefty's coming in here for the potential matchup. Oh, and that's going to hit Lewin, so two pitches inside.
Yeah, that was a rough pitch. That was a rough pitch there for Lewin. Obviously, he's walking it off perfectly fine, which is always good to see. But so far, Carlton struggling here in his first couple of pitches. But
the third hit by pitch for the Diamond Dogs.
Yeah,
and just the 4th inning.
It looks like he's having the opposite struggle of what Aiden Tran was seeing, where he's releasing a little bit too early compared to Tran, who was usually releasing too late. And that's the part of the zone that Carlton was trying to aim for.
And that'll be Luis Rivera who steps up to the plate, one of the men who has been hit by a pitch. That was back in the 4th, but now a runner on first with nobody out, as that's going to be kind of lined out to Donatucci, who makes the play. Wow, Donatucci is really busy over there at shortstop.
Yeah,
I have him all over my score card.
He's contributed to, that's one, he was a part of the last 3.
Listen to this, every other out except for the couple of strikeouts by Fury he's been involved in.
Wow.
So, and that even involves obviously both double plays he was a part of, and then literally every single out here on the scorebook has gone to Donatucci.
My goodness. Yeah, because I was going to say, because he has this one.
Runner takes off. Nice throw by the catcher. Will not be in time, so it's a stolen base for Lewin.
Good jump by Kai Lewin. Good throw, actually, by Derek Lopez. But, I was going to say, because Donatucci gets that one. He was part of all 3 back in the
Here, you can look.
But yeah, he's part of all 3.
L6, 6'3", 6'3", L6. Strikeout doesn't count. 6'4", 4'6", and I think that trend will end here, of course, as the first baseman camps under it. That is Sean Stafford for out number 2. So a big out nonetheless.
Yeah, Donatucci has just had a really active day in the field, and this is not the first time that we've seen one particular Squeeze defender have a really active day. There was a game over at Horizon one time where Caleb Scott actually was very active. He had I think he was a part of 6 outs in the ball game, and so I had to ask him afterwards, are you exhausted?
And there it goes to Donatucci. I mean, who else? As he delivers a nice throw over to first, and that will be out number 3. So, wow, the dugout is pretty amped up. I can imagine why. I mean, he is straight up a vacuum over there today. And maybe you'll have to ask him about his defensive performance after the game. But for now, the Diamond Dogs do not pick up a run in the bottom of the 4th as the Winter Garden Squeeze still lead 1-0 as we head to the top half of the 5th. Top of the 5th inning, and the man of the hour steps up to the plate. It's Dominic Donatucci, who swings through the first pitch. It's Aiden Tran, who is still out there for his 5th inning of work. 0-1 is missed away. See if Tran can have a bit of a better inning here as far as the control goes, and that's swung on and missed by Donatucci. And the thing about Tran is he really does feature some pretty good stuff. You know, a pretty lively fastball, a good breaking ball, and a nice changeup, but it's just a matter of getting it in the zone.
Yep, and consistently.
1-2 is going to be strike number 3 looking for Donatucci. So that is a quick out number 1 for Aiden Tran, and a very good one at that.
Yeah, good job there by Aiden Tran. Looks like he found his release point on that one. And now he's working with an even bigger strike zone here for Braden Weckman.
That ball is fouled away. Be an 0-1 here to Weckman, the number 10 hole hitter. Be a 1-1 here to Weckman. 1 down in the inning, as that's going to be squibbed foul towards the squeeze dugout. This would be 1-2 here.
Yeah, this would be a big confidence booster for Aiden Tran if he can get the first 2 outs here.
Certainly. See what he goes to here on the 1-2, and that's going to be a little upstairs for ball number 2.
Barely, just barely missing by a few inches.
Two is hit well out to right field. Kylo Wynn ranging over and makes a nice diving catch. Oh no, they're going to say he trapped it. And it's not a nice diving catch. It is a double for Braden Weckman. It looked like at first glance he might have had a beat on that, but no, it looked like he trapped it with the ground, and that'll be a double for Weckman.
Yeah, that would have been an insane catch
for
Kylo Wynn. He actually made a pretty decent throw over to second, but yeah, Weckman gets on base safely as it barely missed Kylo Wynn.
So the leadoff man, Caleb Scott, now steps up with a runner in scoring position. That's Weckman over at second. Scott 0 for 2 today. First pitch he sees is going to get past the catcher, Simo. And that will allow for Weckman to advance to third. Have to think that'll be a pass ball.
Yeah, another one that goes
bounced off his glove.
Yeah, another one that goes way low and inside there for, at least on righties, for Tran. And, you know, again, I get the strategy, just trying to force ground balls to the left side, but at the same time, again, just release a little bit earlier.
Caleb Scott sends one foul. Now, bounced off someone's vehicle.
Yeah, it sounded like it did. I'm not sure if there's one next to that that white mini SUV, but
yeah, I can't. It must be a small car. It might not have actually. It might have just hit the concrete. That pitch is away, so it'll be 2. Yeah, looked like a close pitch. So 2-1 here to Scott.
Yeah, super close there for Tran.
As that's in there for strike number 2. The infielder's drawn in for Winter Park, trying to cut down that run, or at least if it's hit hard on the ground on the infield, they can potentially keep him at third or even go home with it. But for now, it'll be a 2-2 count here to Scott. He delivers, and that's swung on and missed. So good pitch there by Aiden Tran, who has got his 2 outs recorded in this inning. Be a strikeout, and that's a big out. Number 2 brings up Michael Thomas.
Another pretty decent crowd showing tonight here.
No,
at,
certainly the
at
last.
Winter Park. Yeah. For the last game, might as well.
And the last couple games have been our best showings by far. See some people coming out to the ballpark, and ooh, that's going to hit Thomas. And he will trot on to first. Looked like it hit him in the shoe area, kind of the inside of the foot.
Yeah, luckily he avoided what could have been an even worse HBP. Obviously, we were waiting to see if he was maybe going to come up hobbling, but luckily he did not.
Yeah, so a lot of hit by pitches in this game thus far. Wonder if, maybe guys will start to, maybe get out of hand a little bit with it. We will see.
Yeah, I mean.
Obviously, there's, no intent by it, but you don't want this many players getting hit. That's kind of alarming.
Oh, yeah, and then, it also gets to a point where if it's too many, then the dugouts will start, getting a little bit antsy.
Yeah. First pitch to the 3-hole hitter, Sean Stafford, is looked at for a strike. He's pleading his case on that strike call.
Yeah, he was trying to get a brief little word in with the home plate umpire, but
0-1 is going to be downstairs for ball number 2. So pretty big spot here in the top half of the 5th inning. The Squeeze lead 1-0, but have runners on first and third with with 2 outs, excuse me.
Yeah, just below the zone there.
The 1-1 is hit up the middle, and that's going to find center field. So it'll be an RBI single for Sean Stafford, and he's going to get on to second. A good piece of base running there as the ball trickled into center field. That allowed for Weckman to come around to score easily, but the runner on first, Michael Thomas, went ahead and took third. He looked like he was kind of off with the pitch, and he advanced to third pretty easily. And then Stafford heads up play. Once he saw that throw come into third, he went and took second base immediately.
Yeah, the ball took an interesting path. It kind of bounced a little bit off of the mound. Tran tried to kind of backhand it, see if he could miraculously stop it in his glove, but it ultimately went past the shortstop for the Diamond Dawgs. That's Marcewicz.
Yeah, Marcewicz.
But actually, the center fielder Rivero had a chance to fire a quick throw into second to maybe get Stafford in a rundown situation.
Yeah, absolutely. He took a big turn over at first.
Yeah, and he ultimately elected to try and go for third, but we'll see if the Diamond Dawgs can get out of this one before any more damage.
Yeah, and things don't get easier with the number 4 cleanup man, I should say, Drew Pines. He grounded out to third to end the third. That was that kind of funky play that was overturned, but a chance here to come through for the Squeeze. The 2-1 is in there for strike number 2. One looked a little low and inside, but that has been the hot zone for the home plate umpire, is, again, low and inside to righties and kind of away to lefties. See if Tran can try and go there again. 2-2 is hit on the ground, and Tran fields his position nicely and lobs one over to the first baseman, Pierce Gladding, for out number 3. However, not before the Winter Garden Squeeze scratch across another run thanks to an RBI single by Sean Stafford, scored Braden Weckman, and that is how it is 2-0 here. We're halfway home here at Alphonse Stadium. Again, last game of the Florida League season. Don't go anywhere.
Leading off for the Diamond Dogs here at the bottom of the fifth.
Bottom of the fifth inning here at Alphonse Stadium. As Kenny Marcewitz steps in for his second at bat. It'll be 6, 7, 8. Marcewitz, Simo, and Tyler Boyson against the pitcher who remains in the game for Winter Garden. That is Carlton. First pitch, and Marcewitz squares around a bunt, but it is called a ball. So Squeeze have been able to pick up a run in each of the last two frames. 1-0 to Marcewitz. He squares again, but that'll be a called strike. So see if the Diamond Dogs in their last game can kind of play with some pride and maybe get a come-from-behind victory. That would be nice to see. And this rubber match between the two, Marcewitz looks at another ball away. Grounded into that 6-4-3 double play back in the second. Two-one is in there for strike number 2. Looks like Carlton is leaning on that breaking ball for at least strikes. He's able to get that pitch in the zone. The 2-2 is going to be in the turf to run the count full here to Marcewitz.
Yeah, after back-to-back run rules to begin this series, the grudge match is well underway, and it looks like it will not be anywhere near what we've seen over the last 48 hours.
Payoff pitch is swung on and missed by Marcewitz, so strikeout for Carlton, and that's out number 1. And for Carlton, he has retired the last 4 batters since coming in the 4th inning. As that brings Alejandro Simo up to the plate. He singled back in the second. Just one of 2 Diamond Dog hits on the afternoon. The first one was a leadoff single to start the game by Adonis Velez. 0-0 is in there for a strike again. Carlton leaning on that off-speed pitch to find the zone.
Yeah, Carlton looking very good here in what could potentially be his final relief appearance of the season.
0-1 is going to be in there for strike number 2, so Simo quickly behind in the count. Down 0-2. Oh-2 is downstairs. For ball number 1. So see what the catcher, Simo, can do. And a 1-2 count. The pitch from Carlton is downstairs for ball number 2. But again, continuing to lean on that breaking pitch, which it's been effective, so why not continue to go back to it?
You're absolutely right.
The 2-2 is going to be a big looper in there for strike number 3. That's going to be a strikeout looking for Simo, and back-to-back strikeouts here in the bottom of the 5th inning. That was a really good one. And that'll bring up Tyler Boyson, who struck out looking and back in his first appearance. Boyson, one of those players fresh out of high school, just graduated a couple months ago. Plans to attend Stetson for baseball. First pitch is lined over to Donatucci at short. He ranges over and makes the play for out number 3. So a quick 1-2-3 inning for Carlton does things here in the bottom of the 5th. We head to the top of the 6th inning as the Winter Garden Squeeze still lead 2-0.
your high school was? Or as far as like
It was big, yeah. As far as like classification
well,
and students,
yeah.
I graduated with about 600.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had like five. Our class was like
That's a
570
big
something.
class.
Yeah.
But in my county, Gwinnett County is a really big like metro county for Atlanta, so like it wasn't like I didn't go to like a county high school,
Right.
it was called Lanier, and
Yeah.
there was like also, honestly, probably 30 other high schools that had just the same amount of graduating, or even more. Like
Wow.
Mill Creek is like one that was close. They probably graduated with like 1,200 kids, which is crazy.
That's
crazy,
massive.
bro. And there was multiple schools like that.
Wow.
Super populated
That's
area.
massive.
Yeah.
That's massive.
Top of the 6th inning here is going to be a new pitcher for the Winter Park Diamond Dogs. It's Harrison Miller. He's had a nice summer thus far. 19 2/3 innings, 18 strikeouts, giving up just 9 earned runs. First batter he will face is Isaac Incinelli, who is 0 for 1 today and will deal with an 0-1 count. See what Miller can do in his last relief appearance, as he's quickly ahead of Incinelli here, 0-2.
Incinelli 0 for 1 today, but on the season, 245 batting average. Obviously tied for the team lead in home runs with 3. Also has 9 RBIs to his name, but strikes out here.
And yeah, that's going to be a 3-pitch strikeout looking for Incinelli, as Harrison Miller makes quick work of the first batter he faces.
And that's really important to cool down the hot bats from yesterday.
Absolutely, and it certainly appears as they have cooled down here.
Yeah, Incinelli was 0 for 1, now 0 for 2 today, and for Zacharias Walker, he's also 0 for 1 today. So the home run hitters have not.
And that's going to be hit well out to right, and that's going to be Roberto Odor, I believe, out in right field.
Well, look, would you look at that? He gets playing time in the last game. Good job.
Of course, I'll have to notify the scorekeepers that that's Odor out and right. But yeah, I mean, he is not really a right fielder. He's played really just the infield, but is busy there for out number 2. And Harrison Miller making good work of this Winter Garden Squeeze 5 and 6 batters.
So Walker also now 0 for 2 today, but Miller has a 4.12 ERA, 18 strikeouts in 19 2/3 innings pitched.
Yeah, he's been pretty productive and a pretty reliable arm out of the bullpen. 0-1 is downstairs. Yeah, so Kai Lewin, who was originally the right fielder, is taken out for Mr. Odor. 1-1 is checked down at first. He did not go. It's 2-1 count. Two-one is going to be a dribbler over to third. That's Eric Entrican, who tries to make the barehanded play, but is unable to. So it'll be an infield single for Steinmetz. And that looked like a good idea. I don't know. That ball was coming at him a little harder, I think, than he thought to maybe barehand that.
Yeah, and honestly, excuse me, with the trajectory it was taking.
Now batting for the squeeze, number 36.
It would have been a very, very, very close play to make over at first for Entrican, but obviously there are 2 outs here, so not a whole lot of harm foul.
Yeah, so see if Miller can have a bounce back at bat here against Derek Lopez. Steinmetz was the one who got the infield single, and it's a 1-1 count here to Lopez with 2 down in the inning. One is squid the other way, and a long-ranging play for Lee Anthony Santiago, but he will not be able to get over there. It's another infield single for the Winter Garden Squeeze as they have back-to-back hits with 2 outs.
Again, that's just it's one of those grounders that is hit in such a interesting position because the first baseman Gladding. He obviously could not make a diving effort for it, but he had to stay at the bag to be prepared for, Santiago to throw it back over, and obviously the play at second was not there. So again, it's just one of those plays that it's not really anybody's fault per se.
Yeah, that's going to be hit hard, and that's going to get up the middle. They will wave the runner, Steinmetz, and the throw to third is not going to be in time. So, yeah, a couple of bloop or infield singles, I should say, leads to a run for Winter Garden. That's an RBI single for Dominic Donatucci, and they now lead 3-0 as the runner Lopez also advances to third. So, yeah, again, in the moment it appeared to not be, no harm, no foul, but then a big two-out hit by Dominic Donatucci.
Yep.
Serves the Diamond Dogs well, and they get on the board once again. So back 3 consecutive hits with 2 outs here in the top of the sixth inning, and the Winter Garden Squeeze have scored in the past all of their last 3 frames.
Yep, after nobody scored through the first 3, the Squeeze have gotten one in back-to-back-to-back.
So it's Braden
innings.
Weckman's up now. He will deal with a 1-1 count.
Still some time to work with here if you're the Diamond Dogs, but obviously it starts with trying to get out Weckman here.
1-1 is going to be popped foul, so it'll be a 1-2 to Weckman. And, yeah, kind of a tough break for the pitcher Miller, who got the first 2 outs really pretty easily. Got a strikeout of Vencinelli, then Walker grounded out, or flied out, excuse me. But then 3 resulting hits. 1-2, runner takes off. Simo throws down, but not in time. Be a stolen base for Dominic Donatucci. And it's a 2-2 count now to Braden Weckman. So 2s everywhere here in the top of the 6th. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 runners on. See what Miller goes to here, and it's going to be a little inside. It'll run the count full. So a big payoff pitch for Harrison Miller, and it's going to get past the catcher Simo, and that will allow for a runner to score on the walk. So that's 2 runners scored now here in the top half of the 6th. Things maybe need to get settled down a little bit here for the Diamond Dogs.
Yeah, tough turn of events here for Winter Park, as now they're in a position where they essentially need an inning per run the rest of the way in order to at least tie it and force maybe extra innings.
Javier Calzadilla will get the pitch hit, and as the lineup turns, so he will serve as the leadoff man. See what he can do here. Again, 2 runs already across here in the 6th for the Winter Garden Squeeze. Certainly need to get out of this one unscathed or not unscathed, to limit the damage here. First pitch is going to be in there for strike number 1 to the leadoff man, Calzadilla. Calzadilla has been pretty much a mainstay, but had the off day today. 0-1 is in there for strike number 2, so quickly ahead in the count here is Miller. Runner takes off. It's outside, but no throw as Weckman gets into second. So Winter Garden Squeeze threatening again, as it's, now if it's 4-0 and there are runners on second and third. 1-2 is hit on the ground. Right back to Miller. He won't be able to get it, and the Anthony Santiago still recovers and gets the out at first, and he is out for out number 3. Good play there by Santiago, but the damage has sort of been done already. The Winter Garden Squeeze are able to scratch across 2 thanks to an RBI single and a pass ball, and that will do things here for the top half of the 6th. The Winter Garden Squeeze lead 4-0. Bottom of the 6th inning here, the Squeeze lead 4-0 after a 2-run top of the 6th, and that brings up the 9-10-1 batters for the Diamond Dogs. It'll be Lee Anthony Santiago to lead things off here in the 6th. The 1-0 is cracked away foul, so it'll be a 1-1 count. The 1-1 is cracked out into left field. That'll get down for a leadoff single for Santiago. He rounds first hard, but he retreats. It'll be a leadoff single for the number 9 hole hitter, Lee Anthony Santiago.
And that's exactly what the Diamond Dogs need here as we are a good ways over the midway hump of this ball game. But obviously, yeah, it's still Grant Carlton on the mound for the Winter Garden Squeeze.
Then I bring up Eric Encherkin, the number 10 hole hitter. See what he can do against the lefty Carlton. Is that first pitch misses away?
Yeah, we saw the first few pitches for Carlton leave high and away, and that one does right there. Looks like he's trying to find his sweet spot. Also some defensive changes as well for the Squeeze. We'll go over those here in a second.
1-0 is in there for a strike. And yeah, just before we do that, just a little bit of context between these two teams. The Diamond Dogs are 7-27. They will not be playing in the Florida League playoffs. The Winter Garden Squeeze will be with a 12-20 record thus far, potentially on their way to picking up their 13th win of the year, but it has certainly been a good season, as the Diamond Dogs have actually played the most games in the Florida League, 35 out of 36, not too bad. 2-1, and the pitcher checks on the runner Santiago at first.
Yeah, so it looks like Waddingham is at first. Calzadilla is now at second. I believe that is Picciano in center.
Encherkin fouls one back. Yeah, you'll have to let the stat guys know, because I don't think they picked up on any of those.
And yeah, because I wish had some binoculars, because as high definition as the new age phones are with their zoom, unfortunately, it would not give me as clear of a view as some binoculars would.
Oh, yeah, for sure. 2-2. We'll have to wait.
Actually, Picciano is in right field. Nico Banez is in center.
2-2 is slapped away foul again. Oh, look out, Carr. Ooh, it actually hit the tree instead.
And Gabriel Rodriguez is in left.
Wow. You're able to tell through your phone?
Yeah, this 25 zoom is crazy. I'm not going to lie. This 25 zoom goes insane.
Oh, my God. Yeah, it gets them pretty good. 2-2 here again to Encherkin. Will be hit hard on a line out to left, but the new left fielder is right there to record out number 1.
Yeah, good contact there by the Diamond Dogs, as it was a pretty hard hit liner out into left. But I'm just trying to think about, some of the other fields in the Florida League, and maybe if the fielders were positioned a little bit further back, like how they would have been at, say, Sanford, would that have had a chance of dropping? Maybe.
Yeah, potentially.
But yeah, I mean, obviously a good piece of hitting, just unlucky. And only one out.
We'll bring up the leadoff man, Adonis Velez. He's 1 for 2 today. Looks at strike number 2, so quickly down on the count here. quickly down in the count 0-2. Again, Carlton having a nice outing thus far. 2 1/3 innings so far. Has only given up just one hit, and it came just now to Leanthony Santiago. 0-2, and they got him in a pickle, but the throw is into left field, so Santiago gets away with it and advances to second. Again, they had him dead to rights, but he actually got a pretty good jump on that, and the first baseman, the new first baseman, I believe, was unable to get that throw right on the money, which is what it would have taken to get Santiago out. But a runner in scoring position for the Diamond Dogs, their first since the 4th.
Waddingham put that a little bit too far to the left of the second base bag, but the Diamond Dogs desperately needed that runner in scoring position.
And the leadoff man, Velez, is going to dump one into left center field, and Leanthony Santiago is going to trot around, and that's the first run of the game for the Diamond Dogs. The second hit of the night for Velez is an RBI single, and it is now 4-1 here in the bottom of the 6th. So, as you said, got to average about a run per inning, so they're kind of on pace to do that.
Absolutely. It's got to be the shoes there. He came around in the Chicago ones as a good piece of hitting.
You can see that from here?
Yeah, I mean,
crazy. Are you a sneakerhead?
Kind of ish. The game unfortunately has fallen off in recent years, but I mean, I feel like Jordan ones are pretty spot on.
Runner takes off, and he will get in there with no throw. That's a stolen base for Velez, and the Diamond Dogs have another runner in scoring position here in the bottom of the 6th.
Another one.
Yeah, so some aggressive base running and maybe some things turning around here for Winter Park.
Yeah, they've got really no reason not to be aggressive here in the final game of the regular season.
0-1 is swung through a miss on a good off-speed pitch by Carlton.
Yeah, it barely got by Odor there. But, at least for me, I feel like Jordan ones can pretty much be spotted from anywhere. Just, the big swoosh.
For sure.
Yeah.
0-2 is going to be in there for strike number 3. Again, it's that hot spot for the home plate umpire, and that's going to be out number 2, in the inning. So Odor in his pitch hit appearance goes down looking, and that'll bring up Luis Rivero.
And that's one of the mental aspects of, being a pitcher is, and even in the bullpen, along with the starter, is, once you kind of pick up on the tendencies of the home plate umpire, then you can really start working that part of the plate.
Mm-hmm. So first pitch to the 3-hole hitter, Luis Rivero, who is 0 for 1 today, is inside. Again, that runner on second is Adonis Velez. He came up with the RBI single. 1-0 is hit away foul by Luis Rivero. It'll even up the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. A big at-bat here for both sides. 1-1 is downstairs for ball number 2.
Carlton trying to get Rivero to chase here.
So the 2-1 is a big looping breaking ball, and that misses upstairs. So it's 3-1 here to Rivero. Hitters count if he chooses to swing away here. Certainly want to key in on your pitch. The 3-1 is a little bit outside, so it'll be a 2-out walk for Luis Rivero, and the Diamond Dogs now have runners on first and second with the cleanup hitter Pierce Gladden coming up.
Yeah.
And one of the coaches for the Winter Garden Squeeze will head out, and not will mean that the night is done for Carlton. Again, he's responsible for both the runners on first and second, so his line is not completely finished, but what we do know is he did complete 2 2/3 innings and gave up just 2 hits. But we will step aside for a second and let you know all about the new pitcher when we come back. New pitcher is, I believe it's Jack Hershey
Yep,
for
Jack
the Winter
Hershey.
Garden Squeeze. He comes in and there's runners on first and second, but the runners take off. First pitch is in there for a strike, so the aggressiveness continues for Winter Park as there's now runners on second and third with 2 outs.
Brilliantly timed double steal there by the Diamond Dawgs, but yeah, Jack Hershey will be in relief of Grant Carlton. He has 11 relief appearances so far this summer, 13 1/3 innings pitched.
Ooh, hit hard by Gladding, but it's right back to the pitcher, Hershey, who fields his position nicely. And that will be out number 3. So the Diamond Dogs strand a couple of runners, but they do pick up their first run on the game thanks to an RBI single by Adonis Velez. And we will head to the top half of the 7th inning here, and top half of the 7th inning, excuse me, as the score remains, or the score is now 4-1. Top of the 7th inning here. Looks like it's a pitch hitter. I did not catch who it was. We'll see. It's Rodriguez is the pitch hitter.
Yeah, it's the new left fielder, Rodriguez, in for Michael Thomas.
He will deal with a 1-1 count here. As Harrison Miller remains out there.
Rodriguez also replaced Thomas in left.
1-1 is hit right to the right fielder Odor, who camps under it for out number 1.
Next prize is a Diamond Dawgs BP top. If you have ticket number 767-686. 767-686.
Wow, it's like all the raffle winners are in one corner of the ballpark. First pitch to Sean Stafford, or is this another pitch? It is Waddingham.
Yeah, Waddingham, who replaced Stafford at first base.
So in this last game, just the Squeeze coaches electing to get some guys off their feet. That's going to be a ball in the dirt, so it'll be a 2-0 count here to Waddingham.
Yeah, absolutely. And, with the with everything set in stone at this point outside of that 2-3 semifinals matchup, obviously the coaches are electing to rotate their guys a little bit more and keep who they think are going to be their go-to guys on Monday, preventing potential injury.
2-1 is swung on and missed by Waddingham, so the count runs to 2-2. Well, speaking of that big 2-3 matchup, which is supposed to be going on today, it is currently delayed.
Oh,
so,
again, wow.
Yeah, and I don't know how that works because I don't know if they can get in another game before the season's. Oh, that's going to split the gap. So Waddingham is going to be into second with extra bases. It's going to be a 1-out double for him.
Yeah, but great hit.
I think tomorrow is not even a scheduled makeup day, so I don't know if they can make it up then. I think they will go to winning percentage if it's a tiebreaker situation, which
that or if they are tied in season record, then
their winning percentage is the same. So
okay, so then it would just probably be whoever has won more games against the other during the regular season. But at the same time, those teams are guaranteed to be off on Monday. So I don't. Again, like you said, I don't know. I don't know if they can overrule that and make them play the game tomorrow. But I mean that'll be interesting to see who gets the tiebreaker.
Pines is not one of the defensive substitutions, so he will remain in his cleanup duties. Deals with a 1-0 or an 0-1 count here, and that one a bit outside, so it'll be 1-1 to Drew Pines. The 1-1 is cracked out to right field. Odor camps under it. Runner tags up. Odor. The ball's going to be cut off, and the runner, Waddingham, will advance, but Odor records the out for out number 2. And that old, I guess slogan saying, and it's when you enter a baseball game, the ball will find you. That's been the case for Odor. Again, he has not played one inning thus far this season, up until now, in the outfield, and he's already caught a handful of fly balls out there in right field.
Yeah, good on him for obviously doing his job and getting some outs.
And Isaac Antonelli steps in for his fourth at bat. He did walk back in the fourth and scored a run. We'll deal with a 2-0 count here from Harrison Miller. The 2-0 is grounded over to the third baseman, Entrikin, who ranges over, makes the throw over to first for out number 3. So we are going to stretch here at Alphonse Stadium. The Winter Garden Squeeze still lead 4-1. bottom of the 7th inning here. Looks like the pitcher for Winter Garden, Jack Hershey, will remain the same as Ben Barrow steps in for his 3rd at-bat. First pitch to Barrow is hit hard, and Donatucci makes a nice backhand, but Barrow will beat it out at first. Good job to keep that on the infield, but he definitely had no chance at that, or else that would have been one of the better plays I've ever seen.
Yeah, that was a hellacious effort by Donatucci, obviously because he was on his back foot and everything. He didn't really have a chance to get Velez out there, but obviously still a great effort, and it's just going to go down as a base hit.
It looks like that is the ruling, and Kenyon Marszewicz will step up. See what he could do here. First pitch is a ball. And the Diamond Dogs would need to average about a run an inning or have a crooked number inning. They want to come back in this one. The 1-0 to Marszewicz is swung through and missed. And so I know maybe head coach Jim Newland, I don't think he got tossed, but he's nowhere to be found on the diamond right now.
Yeah, he might just be
taking a break. Yeah,
yeah.
It looks like it's Alex Espiat over at first, who's the first base coach, and then assistant coach Brandon Burgess over there manning the third base coach duties. The 1-2 is hit to the right side, but slicing foul. So it will remain 1-2 here to Marszewicz. See what Hershey goes to here on this 1-2. Runner takes off. He'll be in there easily as Marszewicz grounds one on the ground to third. Easy play, and the throw over to third is going to be not in time, so smart base running by Barrow as he was off with the pitch and was able to get over to third after the third baseman threw over to first to retire Marszewicz.
Again,
so the Diamond Dogs have a good opportunity here in the bottom of the 7th to pick up another run.
Again, the aggressiveness paying off for Winter Park as now they have a runner 90 feet from home with only one out.
So see what Simo can do here. He did have a hit back in the 2nd. The first pitch from Hershey is going to get away from the catcher, and that will do it. It will allow Barrow to come around to score on the wild pitch, and without even Simo having to do anything, that 2nd run of the game for the Diamond Dogs comes across the score, and it's now 4-2 here in the bottom of the 7th, so things getting a little bit tighter here, and as you said, the grudge match of this 3-game set in this last game on the Florida League schedule. The 1-0 to Simo is going to be downstairs again, so it'll be 2-0. And I don't anticipate that the Winter Garden staff will well, thankfully it knocked off the pole. Will elect to use their higher leverage arms, just knowing that the wild card is looming. But
yeah,
they may also, I mean, if they really value this game and want to, you know, use it as a game of pride and go for the win. 2-1 is going to be in there for a ball. Looks like a little low, a little below the strike zone, and it'll be a 3-1 here to Simo. Hitter's friendly count, see what he can do with this. 3-1 is going to be swung through and missed. That was a good pitch by Hershey. Kind of tied Simo up a little bit, and the count is now full. The 3-2 is going to be downstairs for ball number 4. So the Diamond Dogs get another base runner here in the bottom of the 7th. With just one down, it'll bring up Joel Collado as a pitch hitter.
Yeah, this is exactly what the Diamond Dogs need here. They have another runner on base with only one out as the tying run steps up to the plate.
So Collado pitch hits for Tyler Boyerson in what could be his final at-bat of the season. See what he can do. First pitch is going to be flied high out to center field, and the center fielder, Nico Banez, will camp under it for out number 2. An easy fly ball for him, and there's now 2 down here in the bottom of the 7th. That'll bring up Lee Anthony Santiago, one of the 2 Diamond Dogs to score a run. First pitch to Santiago is fouled away into the net for strike number 1.
Yeah, now with 2 outs, it's just about, staying composed and trying to get yourself on base and help your team, as they're only down 2 here.
Keep the line moving, as they say, but it'll be an 0-2 count here to Santiago. See what Hershey goes to on the 0-2. And that's going to be fouled back by Santiago. Santiago, the 9-hole hitter, Eric Entrican behind him. The 0-2 is downstairs for ball number 1, and yeah, it's always interesting, or I'm always interested to see what pitchers go to in the 0-2 count, because have to think that a waste pitch is, or the waste pitch is what they should throw. Don't want to allow a hitter to get an 0-2 hit. That's going to be hit well, but center fielder glides over, and he will make the catch. That is Banez for out number 3. So the Diamond Dogs inch a little bit closer as Barrow advanced, or was able to score. He kind of did it all himself in that inning, and he came around to score, and it is now 4-2 as we head to the top half of the 8th here at Alphonse Stadium. Again, last game here for these 2 clubs. Top of the 8th inning here at Alphonse Stadium. Again, TJ French alongside me, Ricky Potts. Thanks for being with us here on this last game of the Florida League
Leading off
season. It'll be Matthew Dimitri, the new pitcher for Winter Park. He has been very good. The high leverage man for the Diamond Dogs has 3 saves in their 7 wins. Comes into this one in a tight one, and have to imagine that's why he is in this game. He's making his 16th appearance all out of the bullpen. Just a 3.32 ERA leads the Diamond Dog staff in that number, and 24 and a third innings pitched go along with 24 strikeouts. The 1-0 looks like it's a pitch hitter. It is. It's Picciano pitch hitting for Zacharias Walker. See what Picciano can do in his first at-bat. He was in the lineup yesterday. Did score a run. The 1-1. Ooh, and that's going to hit Picciano. Looks like a curveball or that got away from Dimitri. And that's a leadoff base runner for the Winter Garden Squeeze.
Yeah, Picciano came into right field for Zacharias Walker. Also is going to hit for him for the rest of this game. And now here's Brady White.
Squeeze, number 7.
So another pitch hitter. The Squeeze certainly emptying out their roster, you could say.
Yeah. Especially for the guys who, might be uncertain about their status as far as, if they're going to get significant playing time on Monday. Coaches might as well let them get some last-minute reps here.
Always a good job by the coaches. That's what this Florida League is about, is guys getting reps. And certainly in a meaningless game like this one. The 0-1 is in the turf. Nice stop by the catcher, Simo, to keep the runner at first over there. That is Picciano over at first.
Yep.
The 1-1 is upstairs. The 2-1 is away, so it'll be a 3-1 count here to Brady White, having his first plate appearance today. 8 RBIs on the season for Brady White. Has a hitter's count here, as head coach Jim Newland's going to step out and take this mound meeting.
Yeah, it's going to be a super crucial situation coming out of this mound visit for Winter Park, as there's still no outs here in the top of the 8th for the Squeeze. So obviously if you're the Diamond Dogs, trying to get some strikeouts or quick groundouts here to prevent any of the runners from advancing, and obviously keep yourself in somewhat good contention to potentially get back in this one.
So a quick mound meeting, and as Jim Newland heads back to the dugout. I have to think that one again was pretty simple, just get the ball in the zone.
Absolutely.
If they're going to hit their way on, that's okay, but certainly don't want to walk in the bases loaded or walk in a run after already allowing for the bases to be loaded. Infield draws in. First pitch to Donatucci is in there for a strike. This will be quite the turn of momentum and quite the feat if Dimitri can get out of this without giving up any runs. The ultimate jam of all jams. Bases loaded, nobody out. That's a nice sword. It's swing, and he's quickly ahead of Donatucci here, 0-2. So Donatucci, who's had a really nice day on the infield, has also had a pretty nice day at the plate. 1 for 2 RBI single.
Yep.
Back in the 4th, or in the 6th, excuse me. 0-2 is going to be in there for strike number 3. A big strikeout for Matthew Dimitri. Gets out number 1 in this inning. That was a little good morning, good afternoon, and good night. Just took 3 pitches to set down Donatucci. His second strikeout of the night. And that brings up Nico Banez, who is normally, one of the top men in the order for the Squeeze, but here he is pitch hitting. First pitch he sees is fouled back, so good job by Dimitri getting ahead of Banez.
Yeah, he's typically been towards the top of the order, like you just said. He's their leading batter in terms of batting average coming into this game with a 3.15.
Oh, 1 is a big looping curveball that misses the zone. Second pitch or third pitch is bounced on the plate, and that's going to be a 2-1 count now to Banez in his first at-bat. Bases are loaded with Squeeze. Picciano over at third, White at second, and Mojica over at first. The 2-1 is going to be hit hard, and that's going to get right to the hit right to the first baseman, but a run will come across the score, but also a big out number 2 as Pierce Gladding had really no other play but to step on the bag at first. That was kind of a high chopper. But again, Picciano scores, and it's now 5-2 here in the top half of the 8th.
Yeah, tough decision to make for the Diamond Dogs infield as the first baseman Gladding. He had to kind of look all the way around the infield after stepping on the first base bag to see if he had any chances of, throwing a guy out not recklessly. And ultimately he just decided, we'll sacrifice the run. Let's just get another out here and keep it moving.
So Calzadilla will step up to the plate now. He got his first at-bat as a pitch hitter back in the 6th. The 1-0 is fouled back. So 1-1 count here, 2 down in the inning. So after allowing for the bases to get loaded, Dimitri has retired the last 2 Squeeze batters via strikeout and a ground out to first. See what he goes to here on the 1-1. The 1-1 is going to be hit hard to Gladding, who makes a nice backhand stop and takes it himself to the bag, and that's how the inning will end. A couple nice plays there by Pierce Gladding, the first baseman, but the Winter Garden Squeeze do pick up a run. It's Picciano who was hit by a pitch as the leadoff man, but it is 5-2 as we head to the bottom half of the 8th inning here at Alphonse Stadium. Bottom of the 8th inning here at Alphonse Stadium. The Diamond Dogs trail the Squeeze 5-2. B10, the last man in the order. Eric Entrican do step in. I believe the pitcher is the same. It is for Winter Garden.
Yep.
It's Jack Hershey out for his second, or really third inning of work. 1-0 is popped up high on the infield. Third baseman will call everybody off and make the play for out number 1. That's Isaac Incinelli over there.
Yeah, good communication there between him and
Now,
Donatucci.
Dawgs, number 26, Adonis Velez.
As that new man is the leadoff hitter, Adonis Velez. He has 2 hits on the night. The only RBI, I believe, for the Diamond Dogs. That is correct. The RBI single back in the 6th. He looks at a strike from Hershey. It's a 1-1 count here in the bottom of the 8th. So Diamond Dogs running out of outs. The 1-1 is, did he go? It looked like he did. The home plate umpire will make that call. So Velez is quickly down in the count, 1 and 2. So Hershey working pretty fast here in the bottom of the 8th. One-two is going to be looked at for strike number 3. That was a well-placed fastball by Hershey, and that's 2 up, 2 down here in the bottom of the 8th, and that'll bring up Roberto Odor.
Yeah, that's obviously something that Hershey's been trying to work on throughout the entire summer, is keep getting those strikeouts while mitigating hits and earned runs.
See what Odor can do here with 2 down in the inning. First pitch from Hershey is going to be swung on and missed by Odor. It'll quickly be an 0-1 count. The 0-1 to Odor is outside. One is skips past the catcher. It'll be a ball. So you excited for the wild card?
Yeah,
Should be fun, right?
Yeah, no, yeah, it's going to be cool over at what's it called
Stetson. Yeah, that's a good place to play a baseball game.
Absolutely, yeah.
Especially for broadcasters, man. That booth is.
Yeah, it's
I
awesome.
mean, talk about like levels, and you see where I am up here. This has been my home fort, but
yeah,
it's a lot different over there.
Yeah, it's interesting. I think so. This is easily the most outdoorsy press area that we have, and then
all the other ones are shaded.
Well, yeah, and then it's the only thing with Winter Garden is that if the window is open for too long, then it can feel like you're outside.
It's also in such a weird place.
Yeah,
too. That's
yeah,
kind of weird.
Yeah, it's like
I'm sure you've gotten used to it, but
yeah, it's like far down the third baseline, so judging pitches is not as easy.
3-2, flight out to center. Center fielder will camp under it for outs number 3. It's a 3 up, 3 down inning for Hershey, and the Winter Garden Squeeze still lead 5-2 as we head to the top of the 9th inning. Last inning here potentially for both of these teams' Florida League regular seasons.
For their financial support.
Top of the 9th inning here. Matthew Dimitri will remain on the mound for his 2nd inning of work. It'll be Gabriel Rodriguez to lead things off. 2-3-4 here for the Winter Garden Squeeze. However, it does look a little different as there's been multiple pitch hitters. So certainly if the Diamond Dogs want any chance of coming back in this one, they'll have to keep the Squeeze off the board in this inning. First pitch from Dimitri is in for a strike. And yeah, that 1-game wild card should be fun. Those are always fun.
Yeah.
Although in Major League Baseball, they've changed it to now it's a 3-game
Thank
wild card.
goodness they have.
You like that?
Yes. I mean.
The 1-game wild cards were kind of fun, though. I mean,
yeah.
I never really watched my team play in those because they
Right.
usually win the division.
Yeah.
But so, I have no problem
I get
watching
it,
guys
yeah.
battle it out. But
Well, I just think that, like, you know.
you play so many games, and
Yeah.
then it's like to decide it in one game.
Exactly. Exactly. I got 162 to be decided in one. Like, yeah.
But it's all or nothing, you know?
I mean, I get it.
That's how they do
get
it in football.
But that's different.
No, they only play
Yeah,
16 games,
yeah.
or 17 now.
And it's also football.
1-2 is fouled off himself. Count
Like,
will remain 1-2.
It's like that. I mean, this is a while back, but like that one like unrealistic, what's it called? Social media meme that was like what if the NFL had like the same length
Stop.
season as like the NBA?
Those always crack me up.
Like, dog, do you know what would happen to these players? if
They're
they
already
played
hurting, man. Like, I love those hypotheticals. It's like
82 game NFL, bro. Like, they
And
would not
it'll
remember anything.
Exactly. It'll show like all the memes of like, guys, have broken legs.
No, dude, yeah, like, but by game 30, they would
Oh my!
basically
They
be
can barely play
yeah.
17. Yeah, 20 games is like that's how much it takes to
Pretty
kind of
much.
advance to the Super Bowl, and that's a lot. So,
Yeah, exactly.
yeah. Football is so much. Is
82 NFL.
a complete battle of attrition.
I mean,
Well, they play like multiple games a week.
82 flag football games, maybe,
Yeah.
maybe. Even that's pushing it, but
Waddingham steps up now as Rodriguez went down on strikes for out number 1.
but like we saw Fred Warner. Yeah, Fred Warner played like the majority of this past season on like a torn MCL.
Yeah.
Like,
Some guys are built different.
oh yeah,
for sure.
yeah. I mean, no one's doing the Ronnie Lott, amputating your fingers hours before a game and still going out there
Yeah.
and playing just because you wanted to play. But
1-1. Well, the other part of that equation is you want to get paid as well, and those NFL game checks per game are pretty hefty. So guys obviously don't want to miss games. I feel like that was the case more so back in the day, is that there were less guaranteed contracts. So like guys, as that's going to be back-to-back strikeouts for Dimitri, so he's having a nice bounce-back inning as the first 2 Squeeze batters go down on strikes. But yeah, I feel like more so in the they really needed them game checks, so they would battle through anything. Now if you have 3/4 of your contract guaranteed,
Right.
So Drew Pines will step in. That was the first pitch he sees away. So 5 runs thus far for the Squeeze on 7 hits. Just 2 runs on 5 hits for the Diamond Dogs. And for Pines, he is 0 for 3 tonight. Does have a walk. 0-1 is upstairs. Dimitri steps off. The 1-1 is in the dirt.
Yeah, Pines trying to just get himself on base here in what is likely his final at-bat of the regular season.
2-1 is in a little outside for ball number 3. So 3-1 count here for Pines. If he wants to swing away, which I'm sure he does, it's a good count to do so. The 3-1, and he does that, but it is snared foul.
Yeah, a lucky break there for the Diamond Dogs as they went just foul, but the count is now raised here as the Squeeze potentially down to their last pitch here in the ninth.
See what Dimitri goes to on the payoff pitch. But for Drew Pines, who's had a really nice regular season, 3 homers, and all against this Diamond Dog team, 16 RBIs. The payoff pitch is going to be inside for ball number 4, so Pines draws his second walk of the evening, and that will send up Isaac Incinelli.
Now batting for the Squeeze, number 22, Isaac Incinelli.
Potentially Isaac Incinelli's last at-bat of the regular season. First pitch is a towering foul ball. It'll get beyond the fence for strike number 1. They call that a long strike in baseball. Well, it struck really well. He got out way out in front of it. Maybe even been a home run foul, but it is still a foul ball.
Nah, I saw it. Unfortunately, it was he got a little bit too underneath it, but another one again. Wow.
Yeah,
but,
fouls that one to the left side.
But yeah, that first one actually it landed just behind the bullpen.
Okay.
Yeah.
I see what you're saying. Like right in front of that other fence, that second fence. The 0-2 here to Incinelli. Dimitri delivers and gets the strikeout, and he struck out the side in the 9th inning. So if that is Dimitri's last time pitching, it was a pretty good outing. I'll read off the line real quick. 2 innings pitched, gave up just 1 earned run, struck out 4 batters, and that is how things end in the top half of the ninth. Potential last chance for the Diamond Dogs, and if they want to pick up their 8th win of the season, they trail 5-2 headed to the bottom half of the ninth.
Number 13.
Potential last chance for the Diamond Dogs. It'll be against a new pitcher. It's Blake Rabins for the Winter Garden Squeeze.
Yeah, Blake Rabins has arguably been the best arm out of the bullpen this summer.
I guess they do bring in their high leverage guy to close things out.
Well, and for him, obviously he gets these days of rest, so it's not going to affect him as much as say the starters when it comes to eligibility.
Rivero swings at the first pitch he sees and lines it out to left. So 1 pitch, 1 out for Rabins, and the Diamond Dogs are closing in on finishing off their season.
But yeah, Rabins so far has of eligible pitchers, he actually has the best ERA amongst relievers and starters combined. He has 2.64 ERA this summer, 10 relief appearances, 17 full innings pitched, 19 hits allowed, 10 runs, 5 of those earned, 6 walks, 12 strikeouts.
So Pierce Glotting steps up, swings in, fouls one away against Rabins. Diamond Dogs down to their last 2 outs. they can muster up a comeback here. Certainly have to start with a base runner. The 0-1 is in there for strike number 2, so Gladden quickly down in the count. The 0-2 is in the turf for ball number 1. See if that game, so that game between Leesburg and Orlando did get underway. It's Leesburg draw first blood as they're up 2-0.
Wow. Yeah, that game to decide the 2 seed.
Yep. Which they know they'll be playing each other.
Right.
It's just a matter of who will be home.
Yeah.
In a way, which is a big deal.
Absolutely. Especially, if Leesburg gets that home field advantage, that crowd is going to be rocking.
Seriously. 2-2 is squibbed, but it'll be foul. So we'll do the 2-2 over.
And then Sanford and DeLand got it canceled, actually.
Yeah, where was that game? It was in DeLand. Okay, so I didn't know they got rain up there. But yeah, we'll be DeLand facing Winter Garden. Winter gets Sanford, who feels like, maybe it's certainly plausible for them to be, they're not, maybe they are a juggernaut, but they're not a super crazy juggernaut, especially considering they haven't played in so long.
Absolutely.
2-2 is going to miss just outside or run the count full, and especially for a team like the Squeeze, they have certainly got the bats going a little bit in the last few couple of days, besides the first game of this series. But also they'll have their fresh arms, as will Sanford.
And so because that game got canceled.
3-2, and that's going to be strike number 3 looking for Pierce Gladding. So the Diamond Dogs are down to their final out on the Florida League season.
And, with that game getting canceled, that means Sanford will have ended their season without reaching 30 games played. That
seems unfair. Just kidding. They pretty much had that 1 seed locked up regardless.
Absolutely, yeah.
So it'll be Ben Barrow, the last chance for the Diamond Dogs to prolong their season. He looks at a first pitch and for a strike. Barrow, one of the 2 men to score. And if this is it, certainly has been a fun summer for me, getting a chance to call the Diamond Dogs as the 0-1 pitch is swung through a miss. I really didn't have too much experience doing play-by-play before this, so
I as well, for sure. I feel that, brother.
It certainly was welcoming, and it certainly challenged me in many ways. The team did lose a handful of games, but again, it's part of the job that if you want to do this, that's just the reality sometimes is, you're not always going to be on the winning side of things. And
for sure,
I certainly learned that a good bit this summer.
And you got to, I don't know if you've been here before this summer, but you got to just, see the Orlando area as well.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And Ben Barrow will swing through that one, and that will do things here. So the Diamond Dogs season ends. They finished the season 7-28, and for the Winter Garden Squeeze, they finished their regular season 13-20. Again, they will face DeLand on Monday in a 1-game take-all wild card. Ricky, good luck to that. For this game, the Squeeze obviously came on top 5-2. They scored 5 runs on 7 hits, and to the Diamond Dogs 2 runs on 5 hits. Again, Ricky, any final thoughts on the regular season and just the Squeeze going forward?
Obviously the Squeeze, they scored the bulk of their runs in this game in the middle part, the middle third to be exact. The Dogs kind of put together a little bit of a comeback, getting a run in each of the 6th and 7th inning. Ultimately, the Squeeze got one back and then ended up winning by 3. But yeah, man, I've enjoyed, calling the games with you that we have this summer.
Likewise.
And yeah, it's going to be a very interesting one in DeLand. It's going to be a close one hopefully on Monday in the wild card game over at Melching Field. The Squeeze, I would say, the big stories are going to be, just staying consistent throughout the entire ball game. There's been so many times where they've allowed flurries of runs early in the game, and then by the time they try to come back, it's already too late. And then vice versa, they'll start off hot, but then falter off as the rest of the game goes along. So consistency, especially against this DeLand team that has kind of seemed to somewhat find their groove over the last month or so. But yeah, we'll see what happens on Monday when the 4 versus 5 matchup plays in the winner-take-all game to decide who plays the 1-seeded River Rats.
Yeah, and good luck to you, Ricky. I know you'll be on the call with Adrian Delgado. That'll be played at DeLand, so at Melching Field at Conrad Park. That's a beautiful ballpark to watch a game. But again, just for this contest and for the Diamond Dog season, certainly didn't go as they'd hoped. They finished the season 7-28. But again, it was a pleasure coming to the park each and every day. I know I missed that first game of the season, or of the series, but other than that, I pretty much had gone to every game, and there was never a bad day that I came to the park.
Absolutely.
Even though the team didn't really perform to the highest level possible. But that's just baseball. You can't win every one, and obviously there's always going to be a winner and a loser. But again, I never really knew if people actually do watch these things.
They do. Trust.
I'm not totally sure, but
trust. They do.
For the ones that did, thanks for sticking with us during this 2025 Diamond Dogs season. Again, I'm TJ French, Ricky Potts alongside me. The final here tonight, the Winter Garden Squeeze pick up 5 runs on 7 hits, no errors. The Diamond Dogs score 2 runs, 5 hits, no errors. This is TJ French saying so long and good night.